Hello guys! During the last couple of days, Russia targeted and destroyed a library in Kherson and a trading and entertaining center in Kharkiv. And Ukrainian army targeted and destroyed two military headquarters of Russian FSB officers on temporarily occupied territories in Skadovsk and Melitopol, and also targeted really close to a construction bureau in Moscow that is responsible for the development of Iskander and Kinzhal missiles later used to kill Ukrainian civilians. Feel the difference. Feel the difference between the choice of targets by Russians and Ukrainians. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight informational war. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. You know that I see the task of my channel to provide you with information from the ordinary Ukrainian perspective, and the more I read news, the more I feel one crucial element for the understanding of this war is lacking. Many attention is dedicated to events that take place like Russians targeting and destroying Ukrainian civilian infrastructure, Ukrainians managing to destroy logistical points on other stuff on Russian territory, but we do not pay much attention to the choice of these targets and what they actually tell us. Because if we observe attentively what Russians do in Ukraine and what Ukrainians do in response, we can definitely see Ukraine is winning and Russia is losing. Subscribe if you agree. I am not going to focus on Putin's failed plans, on a blitzkrieg failure, on sanctions or other stuff. We will look at the events from the recent couple of days. So what do we see? Russia is once again ruining Ukrainian infrastructure, libraries, trading centers, schools, hospitals, apartment buildings, which is another signal to those who think Putin wants territories. No, he simply wants to erase a successful democracy, normal civil society living so close to his authoritarian prison empire. So their task is not to capture these territories, is not to get these people. Their task is to erase everything. And if you look attentively what they do with their missiles, using really badly targeted ballistic missiles, using this torch land approach, they simply erase everything. Ukrainians, their streets, their infrastructure, because we are the threat, not the desire to have more territories. Russia is the largest country in the world. Come on, they don't need more territories. They don't have money or spirit or enthusiasm to do anything with the territories they have. And now let's look at the choice of Ukrainian targets. First of all, these are always military objects or some important logistics objects, because we understand that for the regaining of Ukrainian territories and successful counteroffensive, we have to cut down the supply of people and weapons, and that's what we are doing. So do not focus on counting the meters that are liberated, but count the objects that were previously used by Russian invaders to supply themselves and now are lost, burned, and eradicated. And there are many signs that demonstrate how successful that is. Now, Crimea does not have air defense at all. Lots of their ships turned into submarines. And what is more important, lots of intelligence services from other countries and the Institute of the War in Research say that Ukraine intensifies its attacks on Russian military and logistic infrastructure. And we can see a lot of successful Ukrainian operations inside Russia, deep inside Russia, like explosions on Tabov explosive factory, or tonight's explosion in Moscow, which is like the heart of the Dark Empire. So the drone exploded on the territory of the construction bureau that works on the production of Iskander and Kinzhal missiles. And we have the support of various partisan movements inside Russia that help us perform these operations. And keep in mind, at the moment, Ukrainians are not allowed to use long-range missiles or any other weapons that we are given by our allies on Russian territory. So all we can do is either use the weapons developed by ourselves, these are various drones, reconstructed missiles, we do that, or work together with various partisan movements on the territory of Russia using drones and other stuff. And with this very limited resource that we are allowed to use, we managed to destroy many military and logistic objects which actually seriously interfere in the offensive operations of Russians. And Russian propaganda at the moment does not have any positive messages, and they don't know how to explain these kabooms, as you tell me, on the territory of Russia. And we all know war is always coming back home, and that's what it does at the moment. But the main message of my today's video is to demonstrate you that even the choice of targets shows the level of success and the level of adequacy in army. In Russia, they are simply destroying the country. They are not capable of targeting some important objects. They destroy everything on their way, schools, hospital, electricity lines, which demonstrates simple terror, not even a classy invasion. And Ukrainians target very accurately, very elegantly, if it's possible to say so, by using limited resources. We destroy explosives, we destroy military storages, we destroy warships. That's what we do. And by comparing these approaches, you can definitely say Russia is losing and Ukraine is winning. And this is a conclusion that you will rarely come across in media, because somehow people like to focus just on the event without trying to connect it into some logical conclusion, which is really important. Russia is chaotic, brutal, violent, unpredictable, focused on the past. Ukraine is very strong, resilient, well organized, responsible, because we follow all the things our allies ask us to do. And at the same time, it is very vividly seen that we intensify our attacks on military and logistic objects in temporarily occupied territories, and most importantly deep inside Russia, because Tambov is like 450 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. And this beautiful attack on the construction bureau in Moscow, you can tell me, whoa, it did not destroy the bureau completely, but come on, we had a drone flying there, we've sent the message, and maybe next time it will explode. With all these limited resources, we demonstrate high class, and I'm really proud to be Ukrainian. Hope you like this update. Let me know in the comments what are the other topics you would like me to discuss. We do have trolls that comment and report the answers, and my answers sometimes disappear. But once again, this is a symptom Russia is losing, because from my personal vlogging experience, I always notice these waves of troll activity when things are bad for Russia. So that's not a bad signal then. Subscribe to my Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. We have a beautiful Christmas merch collection, and all of these sweaters and hoodies can work as perfect conversation starters to remind people about Russian war in Ukraine and your need on the way to our Ukrainian victory. Thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons. I value the trust and opportunities that you give me. That is a blessing. But most importantly, thank you for your support of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!